I tell you what, Okaloosa County, Florida, keep messing it up. They did it again. You know, this is the same county that shot that senior airman. Oh, yeah. Because that cop deemed that the guy was aggressive maneuver and he felt fear for his life. Yeah. Oh, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same police department that mistaken an acorn falling from a tree on the top of a cruiser for a gunshot. Yeah. What do we got here? Well, we got one over here called Cops for Innocent Black Woman Outside Home Without Clothes twice. No, it's not the same, Ray. This is two separate incidents. Check this shit out.
Fell on the vehicle. And when the acorn fell, he said...
No, let's go back to beginning. Okay, here we go.
Again. So according to the latest, Florida deputies decided to bring a woman out of her home, black woman, nude,
butt naked,
kick down the door,
birthday suit,
for nothing.
For nothing.
Put up the picture of the guy in charge.
Let's check it out. Here he is. Scumbag, huh?
This is Eric Eden.
Eric Eden.
Eric Eden is the county sheriff for Okaloosa. Now, I'm going to show you the connection.
Here it comes.
The same Florida Sheriff's Department that has come under fire for shooting and killing a senior airman.
Yep, there it is.
With the U.S. Air Force last month. We talked about that extensively and even interviewed a former Baltimore cop. For killing this airman with the U.S. Air Force last month, that same department has now been sued.
Yeah, and not only that, that cop that killed a U.S. airman, it's been fired from the force. And the reason why that, like I said before, reason why that cop that shot him these 6 times, because he said the guy seemed aggressive, like Nardog. He didn't seem aggressive. And the airman was holding a gun, Second Amendment protected activity, in your own place of residence. And what did the airman have on his gun pointed out? The ground.
Or twice. Breaking into one home of the same black woman, forcing this woman outside with no clothes on.
Butt naked in a birthday suit.
They handcuffed her, leaving her standing in front of her home in full view of her 2 children and everyone else. LaTanya Griffin was not even listed on the warrant served by Okaloosa County Sheriff deputies when they used a battering ram to break into her home before dawn on 2 occasions. First occasion was in 2019.
And again.
The second in 2020.
Here we go.
Rousing her out of her sleep, ordering her at gunpoint
to walk out of her home
in the nude
birthday suit.
That's according to the federal lawsuit. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office is also the same law enforcement agency whose deputies fired multiple times at a patrol car containing an unarmed, handcuffed black male. This was November 2023.
Last year.
We covered that as well.
Yep, we do here.
Why did he shoot at an unarmed black man handcuffed in his car? Because he got spooked because of an
acorn. He thought a gunshot. He mistaken an acorn for a gunshot.
When the acorn fell, he said it was gunfire.
Which was not.
He was allowed to resign. When he started shooting at the individual handcuffed in the backseat of it.
Gee, kind of reminds me of this 3 Tacoma police officers that got acquitted for the murder of Manny Ellis, and they got to retire, full pension, $500,000 apiece. And one of those police officers, what happened to him? He tried to get a job at the Thurston County Sheriff's Department. And when people found out he got hired, people criticized and were scrutinizing that police department. So what happened to that police officer? He had no choice but to resign.
This cruiser. His supervisor, a female, was on the scene.
Yeah.
She started shooting too. Ironically, the man did not get hit by a single...
No, but here's the thing. Here's the catch-up. That guy kept saying, shots fired, and he started rolling around, rolling like donut flips like that. And he kept saying, I'm in, shots fired. Yeah, he did say that on the body cam footage. He kept saying, I'm hit, shots fired.
Bullet inside of that vehicle. He was not killed. He was not.
Thank goodness.
He was not taken to an ER to be resuscitated or nothing. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this. So, he said an acorn fell. He just patted the man down. The man had no weapons. That's why he was inside of the police cruiser. And how do you shoot when you're handcuffed? Anyway, Griffin's lawsuit is the latest black eye for law enforcement in this community. The Florida Panhandle, that's the area, oversees a population of 212,000
Tallahassee
people.
area.
The family of Airman Roger Fortson, who was killed last month in an incident that's more than questionable. The sheriff has determined it to be
good attorney.
Unnecessary force. Will likely also file a lawsuit after retaining attorney Benjamin Crump.
Good attorney.
The deputy in that case,
Eddie Duran,
has been fired. Now, let me tell you the irony of that. So this deputy goes to a door, probably the wrong door.
Yeah, probably the wrong door. And here's the bitch up. He knocked on the door. He would have standing at the door where the airman could see through his peephole. That deputy standing by the side. And that airman, he probably looks at the hole like, who's knocking my door? Ain't nobody there. And again, deputy knocked on the door. And then the second time, he led left side by the peephole by the door.
Shoots and kills
a
military official. Military official answered the door with his weapon to his side. Because
pointing the ground.
Well, number one, the cop was knocking aggressively. And number two, the cop decided to hide. So that he could not be seen through the peephole. Right? Shoots and kills him. Sheriff says, we're going to review all the evidence. Justice will prevail. He then fires the deputy.
Good.
But doesn't arrest him.
No.
He fires the deputy.
He fires him, but he didn't arrest him
for using
attempted murder.
Lethal force.
Or at least manslaughter.
A human being is dead. That was in service to the nation in an elite military group. And that cop still does not get arrested.
And I think it's so funny. You got these stupid blue line lovers that, let's say, we should back to blue. They go around and say police officers are the real heroes. That they're the ones that are trained, to go out there and fighting when bullets are flying like that. They're the ones going and saying, oh, people who serve for a country, they're not the real heroes. Well, police officers. We have the greatest police officers in our country. Our police officers are the best in our country. They are the real heroes, says the Blue Line lovers and the Fraud Weed Network.
There's more. In Griffin's case, deputies were searching for a man named Tony Streeter, who was wanted on charges of drug trafficking, firearms offenses, and arson. Streeter had since been convicted and is serving a 30-year sentence, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. It is not clear from the lawsuit or the press release issued by the Department of Justice what Streeter's connection was to Griffin's residence. The only charges she ever faced from the two raids were misdemeanors stemming from the second incident, possession of marijuana. All right?
What?
But those charges have now been completely dismissed. Online court records show the only other brushes with law enforcement Griffin has had in the past was over traffic tickets and an eviction violation, which were civil matters,
not
primarily. So Griffin's lawsuit names the county sheriff, Eric Aiden, and a now retired deputy named Grady Carpenter, who one investigator oversaw both of those raids. Spokesperson for the sheriff's office stated that the sheriff was not the sheriff during those incidents and therefore unable to comment. That's really interesting.
Yeah, really is.
CEOs took that position in corporate America. I wasn't the CEO when that person was hired. So if they've done something that's completely corrupt and illegal, there's nothing I can do about that. It's not my fault. What you expect me to do about it? There's more. The attorney representing Griffin told the local news that he is being sued in his official capacity. So it says, quote, to know an individual is unclothed or totally naked, not once,
but twice.
And then you just kind of bring them out of their dwelling into a public area of people to have access to their appearance.
It's unspeakable.
It's just unspeakable. You know why you don't hear about this a whole lot? We do report on it when it does happen, but it doesn't happen often because typically officers will actually allow someone to grab something before effecting an arrest.
Yeah. And most of the time, you know, if somebody's naked, police officers will allow them to grab some clothes, like maybe underwear or boxers, maybe their pants or shirt, to allow them to get dressed before they arrest them and bring them outside. That's crazy. Or they maybe allow them to get their identification ID or wallet.
These officers decided not to.
Oh, they got drag outside butt naked right in the spot.
Not once,
but twice.
Twice. To the same person.
Yeah.
Same address. Same style of raid. All right, so the lawsuit states in the first incident that took place August 29th, 2019, and the second incident, which took place May 20th.
I tell you what, Okaloosa is one fucked up police department.
Deputies used battering rams in both incidents. Both. Rousing her from asleep, ordering her outside naked, the whole nine. Okay? So she's forced outside. She was forced to stand in front of multiple cops, including local, state, and federal officers. It was a task force for a substantial amount of time in front of her 14-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter, including everyone else. The seizing Okaloosa Sheriff's deputies eventually placed a tank top T-shirt over the plaintiff's head, providing partial covering.
Not good enough.
But not concealment of her genitalia.
Yeah, the
JJ,
the cooter area.
At all. The lawsuit states Griffin is seeking damages of more than $1 million. I hope she gets every penny.
Fuck yeah.
She's asking
every damn penny.
Now, this department has not engaged in an isolated incident. Oh. We have now a tapestry of dysfunction. And I would conclude this is part of a cultural issue inside of the department. And it doesn't matter what the policy says, because as I say often, culture eats policy alive every day of the week. All right, Jackson, this is a hell of a thing and a hell of a department.
Yeah, really. I mean, like you pointed out, you would think that they would at least have given her the opportunity to put on clothes. This is the type of treatment that you would see, like maybe the Mexican military giving cartel members or something. Like when they've been on the run for a long time, they catch them, beat them, slap them, stuff like that. And even then, they'll probably still have clothes on. I mean, they treat the way they treated her. You would think she was like an enemy of the state, making you know bioweapons or something. They had to get her out.
Or no, they drag her out butt naked like she's a serious terrorist, like she's gonna bomb our country. She's gonna blow up buildings. And that's why they drag her out butt naked like that, like she's a serious national security threat or a risk, and she wasn't.
Out of the house before she pressed the big red button. I think that she has a good chance of winning this just because it's so egregious.
Exactly.
I mean, you couldn't even let her put her clothes on, and then you did it twice.
Yeah.
There's just no way to defend this.
Yeah.
And then the acorn dropping, you bust out all those shots and then miss everything. Like,
and
you sure you want a person who can't hit their target to have guns? It's just no matter how you look at this, it's just a terrible situation. And unfortunately, she was humiliated, and she's going to be traumatized about this for the rest of her life.
That's right. And just a reminder, dear brother, that what you said is spot on. Given the fact, yes, two different sheriffs, but the same investigator was in charge of both raids.
Yeah. And here's one more follow-up thought I'll get out of here on this one is, and some people always scoff and bitch and moan that, that teenagers wake up to adults, hating the police. Well, gee. Maybe it's the fact that maybe their kids, that they're taught to trust and to adore police officers, and they're treated like scumbags, like lapdogs and criminals, and they're being scrutinized for nothing. Then they're taught to hate police officers because, everybody in America hates a police officer. Senator kept saying, how many fuck the cops? All right, I'm out of here, my job, peace out.